It's really important for workers to acquire knowledge, like the cigar workers in Sheffield, who hire people to read economic series to them. While they work in the factory, they also were trying to understand their social conditions. In this area, the Sudanese are not in education. They came for economic purposes. They don't have the urge to understand the society they live in. They don't have the conceptual apparatus to understand the society and how it works. The most obvious things when COVID-19 happened was the circumstances. This is a new situation for everybody. The government, the media, the scientific community, no one knew what to do. Historically, this is an unprecedented. There was nowhere, but you have time. You don't have how to spend it. This will give you the urge to look at yourself and ask yourself so many important questions which you would never normally ask, especially existential questions. You could lose your life in the blink of an eye. You are dealing with the unknown this time. All of a sudden, you are being asked by the state to stay at your home. When trying to process what was happening, a lot of people on my street just thought this is Allah's will, and they just stop there. They don't want to think anymore. This does not produce any questions. People didn't want to question too much. It's just a kind of closure. My religion is very important, but asking yourself important existential questions does not make you go away from your religion. It's quite the opposite. It will give you a deep understanding of your own beliefs. During lockdown, you will be astonished. I had a long list of books in my mind, some very interesting authors. Derrida, Foucault, Edward Said, the Marxist thinker, Mahdi Amil, Albert Camus, who wrote The Plague. I didn't read anything for the first 4 months of the first lockdown. I did something else. Every day I watched YouTube talks on biblical studies. I really enjoyed them very much. I also watched many talks on YouTube about quantum physics. I was astonished by what I learned. The Big Bang Theory, particle physics. Most of those programs are made by scientists who claim they are atheists, but they just gave me more faith. So lockdown was an opportunity to learn. And I also started thinking about what classical economics call surplus value. But there is another value which I call cultural surplus value. I thought about how COVID affected people personally and collectively in regard to Marxism. The way the state implemented lockdown was, to me, totalitarianism. The origin of COVID was China, but they criticized China here, but they did the same as well here. The virus is a pathogen, but so is totalitarianism. Once I woke up, if I didn't have anything to do, I could not stay at home. I got ready and just came to the cafe. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was comfortable being around people. I like to sit on Stratford Road. I would describe the street as a boulevard of cafes. When the weather was nice, it can put you in a state of reflection, trying to figure out what was going on. We were told you can't touch anyone. You can't shake hands. You have to keep a distance, even in your own home. It was historically a new situation. There were times you came down to the street from your flat and there was no one around, and there was nowhere to go. but you didn't want to go back to your home because you didn't know what to do. It was very bad. I was hoping to read Foucault. I thought about it. I read him in Arabic, but I started with one of his most difficult ones. Another one I tried was Jack Luther's The Human Condition. I was hoping to read them as well during the lockdown, but they were very difficult. There is another thing. I don't know what to call it. Alienation, maybe. The separation of bourgeoisie and working class. It claims to be based on economics. There is a cultural alienation that I can speak about that is applicable to people who come from another society. This cultural alienation is a positive thing. When I sat and watched the world go by during lockdown, it gives you the tools to ask yourself questions which are essential for your well-being. It opens your mind to certain things. You are in a different society, different culture, different system, so you have a different perspective. To maintain your well-being, you have to understand the society you are in.